months ago, Kyle Hawk broke your jaw. With tensions running so high, how are you going to stay level-headed in this match?
Level-headed? When has anybody known me to stay level-headed? Kyle Hawk broke my jaw. Kyle Hawk put me out of commission. Kyle Hawk took away the one thing in my life that matters, and that is wrestling. And while I was gone, he wanted to brag about it. He wanted to make a statement. I broke Greg Romero's jaw. He tried to make an example out of me. Tonight's not just gonna be some pro wrestling match. Tonight is a fight. Tonight I'm out for blood. I'm out for revenge. Mom, I love you, but cover your eyes. Because tonight I'm gonna hurt somebody.
And you could hear the crowd excited that the bridge burner is back.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, the bridge burner, Greg Romero!
And Kyle Hawk is prepared for war, as is Greg Romero.
And look at this, he's not waiting for it to get in the ring.
No, he is not. These men are ready to tear each other apart. You see the shopping cart full of weapons. First blood, first man to bleed loses. And right on the ramp he goes. That is hard metal. And Greg Romero just hurled him through the air, and Hawk landed hard.
Yeah, thankfully this match is not ending in a 1-2-3, because I'm not sure either man wants to go for a pinfall tonight.
This is not about pinfalls. This is not about submissions. This is about drawing first blood. Someone is going to bleed in this matchup. Who's it going to be, Kyle Hawk or Greg Romero?
You know, the one thing about Greg Romero, obviously the chip on his shoulder, we've seen it many times here in FSW. The question becomes, is he so enraged with taking out Kyle Hawk that it cost him the match?
Yeah, it's a possibility. It was 2 years ago at Against All Odds. We saw the culmination of a feud between him and Nick Bugatti. It was a handcuffs chain match. He busted open Bugatti. Greg Romero has a history of just intense rivalries that end in bloodshed.
Oh, and look at that. They're just exchanging huge shots to the face.
Yeah, slugfest.
You know, I hope Romero's jaw is doing well, because he just took a couple of shots again to it.
Greg Romero in control at the moment. Keep in mind, we've got a shopping cart full of weapons on the entryway to the ring.
And right into the steel steps goes Kyle Hawk. And look at Romero.
Tried to stomp the head of Kyle Hawk into the steel.
But a big kick right to the leg. That's going to bruise in the morning.
I think bruises are the last thing these two are going to worry about. Oh, and it looked like Kyle Hawk tried to throw his head into the edge of the steps.
I was going to say right in the corner. As Kyle Hawk walking up the ramp, grabbing the shopping cart.
Got a garbage can full of weapons too. It's like a New Jack tribute match.
And a big chop.
Greg Romero was the one that wanted this. He's the one who wanted first blood, no rules.
And there is numerous plunder.
I feel like Greg Romero grabbed whatever he could find and threw it in that shopping cart.
Look at that.
That's the scalp. So I was saying, Kyle Hawk tried to scalp Greg Romero and a couple others at a certain point. It led to Romero receiving the broken jaw that Kyle Hawk did on purpose. And that's how we ended up here tonight. Greg Romero has revenge on his mind. Kyle Hawk has the idea of putting an exclamation point on the statement he made the night he broke Greg Romero's jaw. He wants to be a player in this company.
It looks like Greg Romero is grabbing some rope. And the question is, you have two guys, they are out of their minds. What is Greg Romero going to do with the rope?
Yeah, these men are out of their minds naturally, but when things are this intense, just imagine how crazy they're going on the inside. Romero tying up Kyle Hawk. What is he doing here?
And Greg Romero keeping the rope around the neck of Kyle Hawk.
Trying to choke the life out of him.
You know, it's a first blood match. If he's bleeding internally, that might count.
He's got to move it to the outside. Well, Scalpel will do that. I don't want to give him any ideas.
No, please don't. As Greg Romero got some trash can lids and the bowling ball. I think he borrowed that from Sim Bodie.
And he's got the cookie sheet.
Looking to convert the 7-10 split.
Shopping cart. Need a little help moving that.
Very nice of the referee to assist Greg Romero in bringing in the shopping cart.
You know what, though? Oh, no. You know what? That's fair game in a match like this. I mean, I think you should ban that as a weapon.
Yeah, I think you should go in there and tell him.
I think you should put metal detectors in the locker room. Greg Romero, though, being very cautious now, obviously.
It is a weapons match, so why would that be illegal?
These tomahawks. It's more than a game changer. That's a life changer.
And as crazy as Greg Romero may be, he is smart enough to know.
He's gotten a paddle. Still not a fair fight, Greg.
We are here live on Twitch.
Bringing a paddle to a tomahawk fight.
That's right. Tell your friends about this. You ain't going to see this in any other Twitch channel.
Yeah, hashtag tomahawk fight. And look at that. Greg Romero doing everything he can to fight off the attack of Kyle Hawk. This thing's escalated more than I think he wanted to.
And Kyle Hawk using the tomahawk to stop the oar.
That was the word I was searching for.
Is that an oar? It is an oar, isn't it?
I thought it was a paddle. That's a paddle, and that of Greg Romero right to the ribs and to the spine. Greg Romero was able to save himself from the weapons Kyle Hawk had at his disposal. And let's get that out of the ring. Let's get that away from ringside. And look at that blinged out shopping cart.
Yeah.
Solid gold.
And a traditional wrestling move here. A whip into the turnbuckle.
He's going to follow it up with another traditional wrestling move. The shopping cart splash.
Oh,
Shades of Homeless Jimmy.
and he might have just busted Kyle Hawk's jaw.
Fans really want the bowling ball.
Yes.
Big fans of the movie Kingpin. Let's see if Greg Romero can Munson this, or hopefully he doesn't Munson this when the bowling ball comes into play. Greg Romero returns the shopping cart to its corner. Going for the Irish whip. A Hawk able to halt the momentum of Greg Romero with that kick. Greg Romero saw the garbage can coming, punts it in his face. What's Greg Romero going for here? And he just got trapped. Kyle Hawk
with the side step.
Yeah, reversed the momentum, saw it coming, and Greg Romero is trapped in the garbage or shopping cart. A lot of weapons. And Kyle Hawk just abusing Romero now. There's weapons just everywhere in that ring. There's an escalation of danger with each one.
What is it going to take to make the first person bleed?
Oh, could be that, but Greg Romero looks like he blocked the force a little bit with his hand.
Oh, and that just jarred his head back, and you could see it.
Well, his neck can snap in the match. If he bleeds, he loses.
Right.
Oh, no! There are some people in this crowd that really loved the damage that Kyle Hawk is causing.
Some sadistic people are great FSW fans.
Just the best. Oh, and a shot right to the jaw. He's trying to detach it from his face again.
You know, how well is the broken jaw healed?
I don't know, like they say 6 to 8 weeks, and it's been longer than that, but Greg Romero, who knows? Most people aren't getting back into wrestling competition. Most people are just living their life after they break their jaw. Greg Romero is in a physical situation.
And the crowd trying to get Greg back into this match. Kyle Hawk.
Romero trying to feed off the energy of the fans. His people.
And he's connecting with some big shots to the jaw.
And each shot, he was putting more and more force behind it.
Whatever that was, right into the gut.
That's got to be a cane. I think he hit him with.
It looks like Kyle Hawk taking a seat.
Oh, that drop toe hold right into the chair. Goes Romero. That's not going to be helpful for his jaw or his head.
And Kyle Hawk just bouncing Greg Romero's face off the chair. And Kyle Hawk can speak English.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes him 12 minutes to make a point, but he can.
Yes.
And now he's got the bowling ball. The fans were cheering for it when they thought Greg would get it. Oh, no! Kyle Hawk just tried to cave in the skull of Greg Romero. He tried to brain the guy.
And Hawk trying to use the chair. Surprised we don't have a football helmet in the ring. Uh-oh, it looks like a strap, a belt. It's turning into a strap match.
Shades of Wahoo McDaniel. Oh no, the bowling ball running for its life. Didn't want to be hurled into a chair again, but Kyle Hawk stopped it from escaping. And he just bakes Romero's head with that. Neither man's still bleeding.
You know, there's a good opportunity right there with that cookie sheet right to the head.
Yeah, or you just use a jagged edge to slice your opponent open. It doesn't matter where the person's bleeding, it's that they're bleeding.
Stop. Kyle Hawk holding up the stop sign. Maybe he wants a truce.
Or maybe he's been studying his Madman Pondo footage. Oh, unprotected. Romero unable to get his hands up to try and soften the blow.
Look at this. Kyle Hawk asking the crowd if they want to see it one more time.
Hey, Kyle Hawk has developed a little bit of a fan base. And he didn't want to give him any more cookies. Instead, he went for the eyes, which some fans actually seem to appreciate.
Kyle Hawk finds the rope and decides he is going to choke Greg Romero.
Going to try to strangle him. That's how far this has come. These men are trying to strangle each other. And he's tying it off, too. Nowhere for Romero to go whatsoever. Oh, it came undone from the ropes. Trying to choke the life out of Greg Romero. The referee can't do anything to try and stop this.
This is sadistic, Kyle Hawk.
It's just wrong.
But Greg Romero asked for this match.
Yeah, Romero wanted it, but the question is he regretting it?
And Kyle Hawk, he is perched on the second rope.
And what is he going to try to attempt to do? And he's bringing Greg up with him.
I sure hope these guys don't fall back our way there, Jake.
Yeah, that would suck. Romero now trying to reverse the situation, trying to give himself the advantage to go for that superplex. Kyle Hawk trying to stop that.
And look at this.
Super bolt cutter onto the chair. And if anything's gonna bust Hawk open, having his face planted in the steel should do it. Still no.
And you can see the hushed silence from the crowd after that.
I don't think these fans expected what they're getting. They knew it was first blood. They knew it was personal, but I don't think they realized just how much intensity, just how much violence these two competitors were gonna bring.
And Greg Romero, it looks like he's grabbed some duct tape.
What is Greg gonna do here? He's got a few options.
And Greg Romero, it looks like he's got the duct tape and he's gonna try and tie up Kyle Hawk.
Kyle Hawk is at the mercy of Greg Romero at this point. Different levels of what Greg Romero could be going for here, but he's decided to tie up tape up Kyle Hawk. Kyle Hawk frees one of his arms.
And Greg Romero connects with the kendo stick right to the gut.
Oh man, and that shot splintered the cane. Splintered the Singapore cane, that kendo stick. And that knockout shot from the Singapore cane by Romero still didn't draw blood.
I'm just shocked that Greg Romero was like, ask him. I figured he'd want to inflict as much pain and damage as he could to Kyle Hawk.
Now it looks like he's trying to split the back of the head of Kyle Hawk. Oh, Kyle Hawk. That was his only option. Was to go low on Greg Romero to stop the beating.
And once again, the crowd trying to get behind Greg Romero.
Kyle Hawk frees himself.
Kyle Hawk rips off the shirt of Greg Romero.
Hey, he hasn't been able to bust open any of the other exposed flesh. He might as well go for the back, the stomach of Greg Romero.
And Kyle Hawk.
And that might not bust you open, but that's gonna leave some welts.
Greg Romero just reached in his boot and it looks like he's grabbed some brass knuckles.
He's grabbed brass knuckles. but Kyle Hawk has got his tomahawk. How? If anything was going to bust him open, you would think it would be that. But I guess Greg Romero was able to block it. Where he's got skin made of steel.
And Kyle Hawk is stuck in the garbage can.
He's Oscared. Trapped in the garbage can. Greg Romero doesn't care.
And Greg Romero, he is looking down. He is looking at the tomahawk.
That's what started this.
And Greg Romero with the tomahawk.
Your winner match, Greg Romero!
And Kyle Hawk's own weapon is what brings him down to defeat.
Greg Romero and Kyle Hawk gave it everything they had. They brought their war up another level, but in the end it was Greg Romero drawing first blood on Kyle Hawk to what seemingly has put an end to this rivalry.